Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. As everyone begins to settle in their seats, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today for a day of important discussions by a lineup of experts on Ukraine's current and future needs amidst Russia's ongoing war and growing geopolitical uncertainty. One of such needs being strong security guarantees to ensure Ukraine's sovereign borders and lay the foundation for speeding recovery and reconstruction. It is also important for us to reiterate the importance of Canada's active participation in this process. My name is Bogdana Torbina. I'm Chief of Staff of the NATO Association of Canada, and it is an honor to be your Master of Ceremonies today. To kick off the day, I would like to welcome on stage President and CEO of the NATO Association of Canada, Robert Baines, for welcoming remarks. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Bogdana. Bogdana Torbina is an outstanding member of our team. This whole event is her brainchild and her labor of love. I hope you're proud, Bogdana, because this is so spectacular. I really look forward to all the discussions we're going to have today. And before I get into my proper remarks, I would like to, first of all, thank a few people. Always important to thank when you're working with a team. First of all of the team at the NATO Association, our interns, our terrific crew. You'll see them around wearing their badges. Please feel free to say hello, engage in conversation. They're all brilliant, I assure you. And it's a really a center of the community that we help to foster at the NATO Association. I did also want to mention the sponsors and the Canada-Ukraine Foundation particularly for sponsoring that coffee that we just enjoyed. But we do have partners to put this on. The Embassy of Ukraine in Canada, the Consulate as well, outstanding partners we're so thrilled to work with. The Canada-Ukraine Chamber of Commerce, the Monk's School, and Myria Aid, which you'll see helped to orchestrate a fabulous third panel. We also had spectacular sponsors, and this just couldn't happen without our sponsors. We thank you so much. Our gold sponsor, the Tamardy Foundation, a gold sponsor obviously is so important for leading the way and making sure that this event can happen and to create this outstanding location here at the library. Thank goodness the Toronto Library has really refreshed everything. We're so thrilled, and I hope you enjoy the location. Our silver sponsors, Med Eng, the Peterson Literary Fund, thank you so much, and the Ukrainian Credit Union Limited. Our bronze sponsors, BCU Financial, the Canada-Ukraine Foundation, as already mentioned, the Canadian Association of Crimean Tatars, and last but not least, Catherine E. Langley Hope. She has been an outstanding donor to the NATO Association for decades. She is a huge proponent of most things defense and security here in Toronto. She has been one of the engines of discussion about security in Toronto, and I'm so proud to have her as our honorary chair emerita. Catherine's just going to do a little welcome to our special diplomatic guests. Catherine.
Good morning, everyone. Well, since we're running a little late, I guess I'll leave this 3-page speech aside, shall I? We do have reserved seats at the front, but we also have other seats. We're expecting different people come during the day. You know, if you come to the front, you get free coffee. So I'm very glad to see all of you here. I see lots of familiar faces, but I see lots of new faces. And really appreciate that you've come out on this cold, blowy Saturday morning with no taxi service and no parking meters at work. It is my honor to welcome our diplomatic representatives. NATO is an alliance of relationships, and our diplomats are the glue that bind us together and provide that kind of conversation that allows us to push gently into areas that aren't comfortable, but that we need to address. And it's also a real service when someone's a diplomat. People think it's kind of wonderful and elegant and romantic. Well, sometimes yes, and sometimes not, but it's a real dedication. And so we really appreciate the diplomats. Now, we have some diplomats with us now, and we're going to have some others. So I'm welcoming to, and if you're here, would you stand up, please? Ambassador Artemis Malo of Albania, and my very first NATO tour took me to Albania, so I have special memories. The Ambassador of Ukraine, Yulia Kovalev.
She will be virtual.
She's going to be virtual, okay. Ambassador Egidijus Meliunas, I hope that's right, of Lithuania. Are you here?
We'll be coming later.
Okay. Consul General Tom Heinsu of Estonia. I love those traditional wrapped rings from Estonia. Consul General Jan Yildiz of Turkey. Consul General Ole Nikolenko of Ukraine. Consul General Fuzia Yunus of the United Kingdom. Yes? Also coming. We also have representation from the mission of Slovakia by Mrs. Stylarova. Are you here? Everyone, talk to people you don't know, please. You know, so often we talk to the people we know, but you're here so that we can get to know you, you can get to know us. So that's really important. So welcome and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Just terrific. I'm just going to give a very brief exhortation to you all to take a step back. When we talk about Ukraine, when we talk about Canada and what we can do for Ukraine, it's so easy to just be in a mire of despair, to just be weighted down by everything that's going on, the news hitting you day after day after day. But when you do step back in the grander sight, it is amazing what Canada, our NATO allies, and so many around the world have done to stand up for the one rule that is the most important rule of the rules-based international order. You'll hear many academics criticize the name rules-based international order because they say, what rules? What rules are we talking about? Whose rules? Who do they benefit? Well, there is one that must be defended. That is territorial integrity. That sovereignty is the essential nature of everything we've been fighting for the past 80 years. All that we learned from the death and destruction of the Second World War was that you can't mess around with borders. No longer will we be allowed to change borders by force or the threat of the use of force. It's amazing to me that we have to iterate that is an issue we have to deal with. But luckily for us, there are many people in this room, across the country and across the NATO alliance, who will not allow that one rule to be broken. It is the most important thing for Canadians to understand, and I hope that everybody in this room will help to communicate that. It's so essential. And NATO, whether or not we have an immediate NATO membership, I'm going to have a lot of discussion about that today. The key is that NATO is behind the spirit of everything that Ukraine is fighting for. It is fighting for NATO, for the rules-based international order. And it's so essential that you help us to communicate with Canadians of all walks of life that Ukraine must be supported and that it has a great future before it, that there is great opportunity for Canada and for Ukraine together. I would also just briefly mention that we do have a few experiential events in the back room. So while you're on your coffee break or on your lunch, please do take a look. We've got a great VR experience and a few other things for you to see, exhibits, activations as they call them. And we want to make sure that you do take some interesting thoughts home with you through those. With that, I think I'll leave it to Bogdana to introduce our next speaker. Thank you so much for joining us.